Call this meeting of the Baker County Board of County Commissioners to order. Welcome all of you here. Appreciate your attendance. Appreciate those watching online. If you're interested in speaking tonight, speaker cards are in the back of the room. If you'll fill out the speaker card and get it to Sarah or Kayla, we'll make sure you get an opportunity to speak. If you have a noise-making device, cell phone or whatever, if you'll put it in some mode where it don't distract the group, that would be appreciated. Mark, you want to introduce our...
I certainly will. We have Cortez. He is a member of the Christian Fellowship Club at Baker County High School, and he is going to lead us in the prayer and the pledge. So,
I just want to say it's a privilege and an honor to actually do this. I've never done something like this, and thank all you guys for recommending me. If we bow our heads real quick. Lord, we do thank you and we do praise you, Lord, for allowing us to be here. We thank you for each and every one of us in here, Lord. I just ask you to let this meeting go as well as it can be. Lord, I just ask every decision, every choice that is made tonight, Lord, let it be under you. Lord, I just ask you to hold us all up, Lord, and give us a peace of mind. In Jesus' name, amen and amen.
Amen.
Attention, salute, pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Cortez.
Good job, bud.
Thank you, Cortez. Next up is elected officials, and I see none. We'll move on to public comments. We don't have any speaker cards yet. If we get a speaker card during the meeting, we'll make sure we have a time to hear your...
Mr. Chairman, we do need to get a formal motion on approval of the agenda, please.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second. We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda.
Is there
All
any
in-
change, or are there going to be any just comments? No changes to the agenda?
Only from presentation. Mr. Chris Lee is not available tonight, so I will cover his
Okay.
items.
Thank you.
When do we cover the tabling of Sanderson?
Yes. Oh, that's the question I had. Is I know that there was a recommendation to table the Sanderson Center, but are we just going to table the one part?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Yes, sir. With that, also, we will be discussing the Ag Center rental rates, but we are going to table the Sanderson Central rates.
So
for
we need
tonight.
to go ahead and do that.
Need a motion to do that?
Sure, just for clarity.
That's right. That's what I was thinking, so I wanted to make sure.
Yes, sir. Thank you for that
So
reminder.
if that, I could ask that the motions be revised to include that.
Yes, I will amend my motion to do away with the Sanderson Center conversation and Mr. Chris Lee for
Okay.
Sarah.
Second.
We have a motion and a second with the, to approve the agenda as amended. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign.
Bless you.
We've made it down to approval of consent agenda items.
Move approval of the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda items. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Moving on to new business. Ms. Lydia, I think you're up for the next three items.
Good evening, Commissioners.
Afternoon.
I have several items for you this evening, some long overdue, some that are on a every 3 years basis. Our first item is going to be the contractor handbook. And I have received some feedback, and I have made notations to make sure those changes are reflected. Does anyone else have any questions after having reviewed it, or have you had the chance to review it?
For clarification to the board, what is the changes that you've made? Have they been noticed? on this?
If I may, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Quickly. So Commissioner Iverson and I spoke this morning, and there were a few just spelling errors that were changed on one of the documentations. And on page 19, that was where there were a couple of typos there. And then on page 20, Commissioner Iverson, as you know, being in the contracting business, thought that we could maybe elaborate a little more on the information that we were asking for on that table that's listed on page 20 of this document. So there was nothing that was actually changed, just some language added to make sure that the contractors understand exactly what types of references we're looking for.
And what's that language?
So instead of please provide 3 references, it's gonna be 3 industry references. And instead of list of suppliers and address, it's gonna be list of suppliers / accounts and addresses.
So under list of suppliers is gonna be what?
Suppliers / accounts, meaning accounts that you pay.
I know, I'm a contractor too, so
I'm just making sure.
I'm just
For
verifying.
those that are not.
My thought, Mr. Jimmy,
No, it's fine what I'm hearing. I just don't want us to make the same recommendations. So if your recommendations are,
Absolutely.
I had some recommendations, but one of them is he's already covered.
Okay.
And I want to make sure that we're on the
yeah,
same
I feel
page.
like it just says provide 3
Right.
references. And I was like, well, is that industry or financial? So the
Right.
first column section would be industry, and then
Yeah.
the third one would be financial references.
Right.
List 3 financial
Yeah.
references, or however you like to word that. I'm not going to nitpick you on that. I just thought that we should identify there what kind of references we're asking for.
Yeah, I think that you're dead spot, you're dead on client, and then your suppliers, and then your finance records.
Right. Clarifying.
Right, I just wanted to make sure we was
Absolutely.
on the same page.
And then the other changes that Commissioner Iverson recommended were on page 21. Again, there were a couple of typos that we had there. Part of the notary, at the bottom of that had an unnecessary line where it says signed at, that was removed. As we don't need to know the location that you signed the document at, just that it was
Right.
notarized. There was a question also on this page about automobile liability insurance. However, in looking at that, it's in line with our purchasing policy, Commissioner. So we
Perfect.
thought that maybe that number was a little too high, but that is what. the
Yeah, I did my
requirement
research this afternoon too, and
Yeah.
I'm satisfied with that number
Yeah,
also.
yeah. So there was nothing of anything that changed the documentation at itself, just some clarification. But
Okay.
again, we're open to any other changes you might have.
That is fine.
Is it okay if I mention one last one that I didn't mention this morning?
Absolutely.
On the next page, on page 23, at the bottom, it says that 3 fair scores within a 6-month period gives the client or the contractor a 90-day suspension, but 1 poor score gives them a 60-day suspension. I say we bump both of them to 90 days. If we have a contractor in here getting a poor score, that's a pretty significant,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I feel like we should just change both of those to 90 days.
On which one is that now?
It's down here at the bottom.
Here at Poor?
Yes, sir.
Page 23, the contractor evaluation
Oh, I
form down
see.
at the bottom.
In other words, if a contractor is getting 25 or less out of a 100-point grade, that's a pretty significant. That's something we need to take a brisk action at, if you ask me.
Okay.
Lydia, is the part about if we have problems, I think, what is it, 2 or 3 times they're taken off the list, is that still in there?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
My recommendation would be 120 days for Poor.
120?
I mean, I think would be a lot fairer.
It's a year.
It would encourage them not to get a poor grade.
And if we get a poor grade, we've already come to a point where there's other issues.
Right.
There's significant issues there that need to be addressed.
Mm-hmm.
So 120 days is the least of their worries at that point, I feel like.
Exactly.
I'm fine with that.
So 90 and 120?
Or 120 and
The
120.
120
I say 120 and 120.
120,
A
120.
fair grade
fair score.
is 90 days, 3 months. When you get into the poor, you're just about failed. You're probably not going to get a chance to rebid anyway.
Okay. So
If you get to
90 and
that
120?
Because even
Because,
if,
because you're gonna be scoring your contractors anyway. If you get a contractor who's getting on the poor side, you don't want them bidding your projects anyway. So you can actually fail them out of even being able to qualify to bid by a poor score.
Right.
So the next time that you bid out jobs, you don't even have to allow them to bid.
Okay, so we're gonna do 90 and 120?
I think so,
Okay.
my personal opinion.
I agree with 90 and 120. However, I would expect a lot of documentation
Right.
on why they're
At
at that
poor.
score,
Yep.
for sure.
Which would
Okay.
disqualify them for the next bids anyway.
Right.
Correct. Commissioner Hartley, did you ask about the delays? Was that your question?
The what? Say it
The
again.
delays, what was your question?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I
Well,
see
that,
that.
yeah, if they're poor quality, or something we had in there,
I
what
see
was it, 3?
I see on page 6, it says contractor who experiences delays on 3
Yes, that's
successive
the one I'm
projects
talking about.
will be removed from the bidders list
Right.
unless
Yes.
the delays are caused
We
by
did that
factors beyond the
before.
contractor's
I just
control.
want to make sure, because we have had that, way
Yes, sir,
back,
we
we
have.
did have that
How
problem.
long
Yes,
are
sir,
they
we have.
removed from the bidders list?
I'm sorry?
Is there a time frame on how long they're removed from the bidders list?
Indefinite.
Indefinitely?
If they're late, what it means is they can't produce the project.
Mhm.
So why should we let them bid again?
Okay, but it needs to be specifically, we need to have detail of why they're late and everything that
Correct.
is on them. Make
Yes.
sure it's not on us.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
And that is usually documented on change orders, the reasons for changes.
Okay.
Because obviously I do have to bring those to you all to approve
And you all would see
those
that.
extensions. And so, yes, they are included on the change orders when I bring them before you.
Okay.
And the grant coordinator keeps up with those records also. Spencer would actually be keeping up with lates, because he's gonna wanna find them too. for being
On the
late.
CDBG side, that would be Spencer.
s-
This would just be Lydia.
That's what I'm
yeah.
just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. Let's make sure these are shipped.
Oh,
and
I understand, but I'm
Spencer's-
just telling them that on both
Right.
sides, there's coverages for both sides, for
Absolutely,
both grants.
absolutely.
We have new people, and that's why I'm just trying to help them.
And we're learning.
Me too.
So, I'm sorry, back to the
I've done it
suspension
all
period. Were
wrong.
we all in agreement on the 90 and 120? Is that something everyone could live with?
That one we agreed on.
Just making sure.
The 3 successive projects being delayed. We did not talk about a timeline there. Do y'all have a preferred timeline?
I don't think there is a timeline. If you're late 3 times on a project, you're not able to do the project, so you shouldn't be able to bid the projects.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
I mean, I don't see where we should give them 6 months to fix that problem. If you have that problem, then you're gonna continue to have that problem.
Correct?
So to me, if you can't do a project and get out of the project 3 consecutive times, you should not be able to bid the projects.
Okay,
Why keep inviting people and then inviting problems for our staff and the members of the community? The people who suffer are the people of the community. Because
Correct.
most of the time, they're out of their house.
yeah,
And then we're telling them, you gotta be out another 30 days for the contractor to finish the project. The more stuff that we can minimize, the better it is for the people, the better it is for our staff. So if you're 3 times that you can't finish a project 3 times,
okay,
evidently you're not capable of managing your time and your people, so you don't need to be working in this
Or you have too many
shipwrecks.
jobs going on at one time.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
that's
it
part of
definitely
management.
could be you got too many jobs going at one time, so maybe if we did a 5-year suspension or something, instead of indefinitely?
I'm with indefinitely, but you can do what y'all want. I'm just a one contractor.
Sure.
no, I agree there
Or
should
one
be a time frame.
Commissioner, I'm sorry.
I think there
Well, this
needs to
was
be a
1 year,
time
ain't it?
frame.
Does that 1 year on there?
Mhm.
On
It's-
that, what page?
Page 10, item 12 on delays, it says that they will be removed for a period of 1 year. Unless the delays were caused by factors beyond the contractor's control and the
Right.
contractor
Okay.
obtain extensions of time as needed.
Well, even on that page 6, it says unless the delays are caused by factors
Right.
beyond the contractor's
Right.
control.
Because we've had
So it
that, we've had
already-
weather delays,
Weather
where it's rained
delays, there
for
could
3
be
solid weeks.
material
Well, and
delays, weather
material.
delays, but all
Yeah.
that's documented, just like Commissioner Mobley.
Right.
So as long as we got the 1 year, I mean, I'm fine.
I think 1 year should be, if we're gonna do a time, let's go to 5 years.
Yeah, 1 year is not enough in my opinion.
I seem indefinite, but if we're gonna put a time, let's at least do 5 years.
I support 5 years. Cause this is,
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, you go ahead, sir.
I was just gonna make sure, and we might not always bid every year. So it may,
Right.
from the time that you bid jobs, it may be several years
Hence
before
is the
you're.
reason I said it indefinitely, cause it might be 3 years before you ever bid out
Right.
another job.
Right.
So are we doing indefinite or 5
I'm
years?
okay with 5.
5
I'm
years.
okay with 5.
5? Okay.
Okay.
I got overruled.
Any more discussion on this, Eric?
This might be just keeping on, but 3 fair scores within the 6 month period, we're only giving them a 90-day suspension. I feel like if you do 3 jobs at 50% less, quality or rating, in this case, a 90-day suspension, and we're suspending them for 5 years just for being late on a job. And here they've overall done a bad job, 50% or less.
Late on 3 jobs.
Huh?
Late
on 3
You
jobs.
had- You're late on 3 projects.
jobs.
Well, this says 3 fair scores within the 6 month period. It could be the same job or different jobs.
Sure.
It could be different jobs.
So are we sticking with the 9120 on the evaluation?
Any discussion from the board?
I've already discussed it, so.
Well, I think that the 90 for 3 consecutive fairs needs to be more significant. Think it needs to be 3 to 5 years.
On the evaluation form?
Absolutely. There's too many contractors looking for this work that are willing to do a good job for us to accept somebody that will do 50% or less work for our people. For you to get, we can all agree that we'll have bad days, bad weeks maybe, where we somehow would get 1 bad grade. But to get 3 of them
In 6 months.
in 6 month period, is that the people that we want on our bidders list, on our contractors list? I absolutely think it's not. Like, that's one I'll get on the indefinite list with you, But I think it would be fair to do the 5 years like we did the other one. But that's what I think that because if you look how they get the grading, their quality and their time
Completion time?
is part of that grading. That's just my thoughts. I think that it needs to be more severe than 90 days.
I would question what is fair on your form and who puts that. I guess,
The
That would be-
contractor evaluation form is filled out by the homeowner.
right, I know that.
So this
but-
encompasses their experience with the contractor
Right.
throughout the project.
That is the reason I'm hesitant on the 90, 120 day. The homeowner could simply just not like you as a person, and then they could give you an unfair grade, and then
And
we're,
you're right.
One person made them mad.
it
during
ain't
the
staff
job.
that's saying that this is an unfair job, or it's, you're a contractor, you deal with people, and you know some people, you just ain't gonna make them happy if you give them a golden,
Yeah, it's not an unbiased opinion.
it's not an
No,
unbiased
it's not,
opinion.
because they might have wanted something else done, and you couldn't do it that way because bid said you had to do it this way. They get mad, and
That's-
then they're gonna give you a bad review,
And
and-
that's fair.
and that happens.
We bid these out more than one project at a
Right.
time. So usually a contractor may very well have 3 projects going on at the same time.
Yep.
So one bad is not necessarily going to hurt them, or one fair, I should say, is not necessarily going to hurt them. So it kind of builds in a protection, so to speak, so that you can't just run around going, I don't like you, and just writing down fair.
So is it one fair for the whole time they're
No,
in the program?
it's 3 fairs within a 6-month period.
Okay.
So if
So
I've
if
bid
they've
out
had-
4 projects and they won 3, if they get 1 fair on one of those 3, they still have 2 others to have a different score on. So it unless you just drew a short straw and all three people don't like you, I mean.
I mean, what's the
it's
chances
kinda-
of you making 3 clients mad in a 6-month period? You're probably doing something wrong at that
Yeah.
point.
Agreed.
Possibly.
What's
more
the
than that.
chances of a contractor, not very seldom does one contractor get 3 projects in a 6 months period? Not very seldom.
Yeah,
I know
because
they
we
are.
usually build them out, bid them out 3, 4 at a time usually. So one contractor can get
I know
3
they
in
can.
Woodfield
That
Square.
I know they
contractor list
can.
ain't that big
I know-
either.
There was
I'm sorry?
6 on there,
That
right?
contractor list ain't that big either.
No.
You're right.
And I'm gonna.
If I could maybe offer some food for thought.
You start
So we're
putting your-
talking about this evaluation only from the homeowner's perspective.
Yes.
The ship administrator also has an evaluation, but we don't have that language there. So to keep that from happening, where maybe the homeowner maybe doesn't understand the process, or they're just having a problem with that day that may not be justified. If we added some language that it was also in coordination with a fair score from the administrator as well.
Well,
that it
that
will-
ship administrator evaluation form is not me evaluating the contractor.
No, I mean, so I'm saying, what if we added that to it? Like, that's not part of the review process. If the homeowner's evaluation and you also did an evaluation of the contractor and it supported it there, or if it somehow was notated on the evaluation form that, yeah, I believe that this information is correct due to these reasons, I support the fair evaluation. Just something more that it's not just the homeowner's opinion, something that could be more documented that staff agrees with a fair determination by a person that's doing that.
I can do that. My thought was on the ship administrator evaluation form, if I'm opening the contractors up to being evaluated, it's only fair that they
Right.
get to evaluate me as well as the administrator. Did I explain the process to them properly? Did I walk them
Right.
through everything? Did I answer all their questions? So if I expect a contractor to be evaluated, it's only fair.
So this is the contractor evaluating you or the?
No, this is the
Homeowner.
homeowner.
Okay.
But to give you all a little more peace of mind that the homeowner might just be being unfair towards it. Maybe they did have a bad day. Maybe they had a disagreement over a color of cabinets that couldn't be provided or whatever the situation may be. There's some kind of agreement or acknowledgement from on the administrator's side that they believe that the evaluation is accurate or something like
Put
that.
like an
Maybe-
administrator comments or
yeah,
something
maybe
like
just
that.
a little more helpful to give you guys some peace of mind on that part of it. It really doesn't help your determination on how long they're suspended, but it would help your problem with making sure that the information is accurate.
Your thoughts?
Do you do an evaluation of the project when it's finished? Do you look at the project when it's finished? Or
I
just
do a final walkthrough after they've received the final CO walkthrough. Before we physically hand them the keys, I go do a walkthrough with the homeowner and the contractor.
Maybe part of that process, Lydia just has to assist them with this. This isn't a form that they fill out on their own. You do that as part of your walkthrough.
And you're talking on a newage construction or a remodel, rehab,
Both.
Yeah, on everything
On
going
every-
forward.
every project?
hmm
Because never was done in the past.
Correct.
I'm speaking from experience.
Yes, sir. I will be in all fairness, when I initially took over this position, shockingly, it's been about 6 years now. There were a lot of challenges I heard about from homeowners, from people in the community, from contractors. And slowly but surely, I have chipped away at all of those and tried to resolve them to the best of my ability, using guidance from you all, using guidance from Florida Housing, to refine the process. And I think we've got a pretty good process going. I really do. Every once in a while, like you say, everybody has a bad day or whatever. You know, we've had a couple of projects that went a little longer than I would have liked. Still learning in this position, but we're getting there, and I think we've got a pretty good process going, and our continued challenges are dwindling. I would say.
That's
Any
great news.
perception of how often you get fair or poor evaluations?
Not a lot. I get a few. They,
In the last year, have you had a dozen?
yes, sir.
Or
Oh,
less?
no, not a dozen. But yes, in the last year, yes, sir, I have. I've had some complaints,
Okay.
which helped, since I was doing this, it helped reinforce the need for it.
Okay.
On some of these items, though, that's what throws me. Completion time,
Mm-hmm.
a homeowner.
Mhm.
Well, if the contractor completes it in whatever time he has, but the the homeowner don't think that was quick enough, they could give them a poor score, but they've really done what they were supposed to do. Code compliance.
Yeah,
I
Mark,
mean-
it's almost like the customer is not who needs to be doing these
Exactly.
evaluations. That's what I'm saying. Thinking,
Or
why is the
maybe they-
client doing
or
this?
it would be a different thing for the homeowners in some of this. The quality of work, yes, they could, I'm sure they could look at that if it looked shoddy. But some of that, I don't know.
I mean,
I'm
I'm
not a
not
contractor.
I'll tell you what you're
You're
gonna
the
do.
contractor.
If
You're the
you're gonna
contractor.
sit up here and you can put all these restrictions on this grant, you're gonna have one contractor show up to bid these things.
Right.
You have to be careful because when you're dealing with this, you're dealing with a different, I've done SHIP many, many, many years. I don't do it anymore because I've been a commissioner. But if I was a contractor and I'm looking at all these different things that you're gonna put on here, that you're allowing the homeowner to be my judge, jury, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna do any projects. Because you can't make everybody happy, I'm telling you.
Absolutely,
You're
absolutely.
just not gonna make everybody, and then when you get into SHIP, and government work is a little different than having a normal client.
Right.
Not always,
Right.
but sometimes you're dealing with people that's got stuff for nothing all their life.
Absolutely.
And you're not making much on the project.
And
in
they're
the first
expecting
place.
gold when you can only
Yes.
give them bronze.
Right.
So I've been there, done that, and I've looked at the evaluation forms, and I think that if you're going to 5 years, when there's a time restraint and you miss your time restraint, that's a serious problem. Unless there is, like I know there's weather, there's materials you can't get, things happen, and it should be well documented.
Absolutely.
But because you don't like the color of the paint, you don't think the paint is put on exactly the way the paint's put on, that is a matter of opinion. That is not a matter of quality, it's a matter of their opinion versus your opinion.
That is true.
And when you start getting into those fine weeds, which is what I'm hearing, there's never going to be a happy outcome to that.
I can honestly say in the projects that I have encountered in the last 6 years, that type of a petty comment has not been made about any of the projects.
Yeah, well, I have had them.
Right. No, I'm not saying they don't happen. I'm just saying that in the 6
Color
years that I've
cabinets.
taken over, that type of statement is not something that I have dealt
Yeah.
with. Now, I have, well, I thought I was getting this and I should have gotten that. Absolutely. That's different. And I do like Sarah's idea about maybe putting, an additional comment section where I can look at this and see what the homeowner wrote and go, okay, well, I can add a comment, that it really wasn't the contractor's issue, maybe this item was unavailable and it was swapped out or whatever the case may be. But I do like that idea of adding, an administrator's comment section.
But
If
his
there's
score is
different-
still there.
Right.
What if it was
So-
completed together by you and the property owner at the final walkthrough?
I don't have a problem with that, but I would not want it coming back from a contractor saying that I coerced the homeowner into putting a certain mark.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, Mr. Commando is listening into this on his drive into here, and he's suggesting that we table this item for he and I and Lydia to actually review this in more detail and bring it back to you.
I'm fine with that.
Well, I think you need to I think that's true, but I also think that you need to hear what your commissioners are saying too.
Absolutely.
And-
He's
and
just
we can
requesting there's no
express-
decision being
right.
made. Yes.
No decision tonight, but we need to, you don't want to put it so stringent.
Right.
And what I'm hearing is very stringent, that you are not gonna have any, we have enough time hard to get the GCs in here to bid this. Electrical contractors, plumbing contractors and all, they're not the GC.
Right.
The GT is responsible for all the contractors. So you gotta be careful that you don't push them right on out the door with your rules and your regulations, and you're gonna judge them and grant them by what one specific homeowner says. And I think you should make the homeowners happy. I do my best to make the homeowners happy. I mean, every contractor I know that I'm friends with tries to make the people happy. But I can tell you, you're not gonna make everybody happy.
Oh, absolutely not.
I'll go ahead and make a motion that we table this until next week, or till next meeting, until legal and staff sit down and talk.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to table this item until the next meeting, when legal and staff have a chance to review it. All in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed, like sign. Item's tabled. Maximum award limits.
This is something commissioners have been asking for a while, and I told you I was keeping track. And so here are the numbers of how pricing has changed in a post-COVID world. It is not pretty, it is not flattering at all. But literally, this is every single project since I have taken over, what the bids were that were submitted, what the bids were that were awarded, what the average per funding year was for those projects. And I have come up with what I think is a fair estimate of what the new award, maximum award should be. And that is broken down on the cover sheet. And if anybody has any questions or comments.
What's staff recommendation?
Staff is recommending a 4-tier amount based on whether or not it's just a straight 2-bedroom, 1-bath with no wheelchair accessibility issues,
Yep.
to a maximum of a 3-bedroom, 1-bath with wheelchair accessibility. And that range is from $135,000 to $150,000, and that does include wells and septics.
That's total project.
That is total project. That is site surveys, that's everything.
So 135 for a 2-bedroom or,
2-bedroom, 1-bath, no wheelchair accessibility at all.
and then what is that up to?
That, and then the 150 is for a 3-bedroom, 1-bath with wheelchair accessibility. So it's a 4-step. So
Four different
135 would be the 2-bedroom, 1-bath, no wheelchair.
Right.
140 for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath with wheelchair. 145 for a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, no wheelchair, and 150 for the 3-bedroom, 1-bath with wheelchair.
Okay.
And the reason why those steps are relatively close is because we basically have a house plan that literally we have to swap out like 5 things, and we get to use the same floor plan.
Right. That's reasonable.
Which they all still come before us.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But last time they came before us and we had to approve the overage, and we
Right.
had to approve the house, right?
Yep.
So this right here just eliminating one step and it still comes
Correct.
before us.
When we get to the local housing assistance plan, the LHAP, you will see these
Yep.
figures listed out per the strategy.
Right.
But, and I did that so that you all could see them within the strategy. But when it gets submitted to, if you all approve this amount, when it gets submitted to Florida Housing, it's gonna list the 150 and that's it.
Right.
Okay. Yeah,
Any more comments from the board?
And it would be not 150 if you didn't need a well septic tank. Those would back out. So sometimes you bid a project, you only need the septic tank, you don't need the well.
Absolutely.
Some projects you need both. Some projects you don't need nothing but the
Exactly.
house. So this would all be broken back out of the 150.
Correct.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the new limits.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the award limits. All in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion carries.
And then.
One more time, Miss Liddy.
One more time, one more again. The Local Housing Assistance Plan, or the LHAP, is something that we must resubmit every 3 years. This tells Florida Housing how we're spending their money and what the rules are for the program that we have instituted here on a local level. There hasn't really been any significant changes to it based on what the last one was, with the exception of, obviously, the figures we just discussed. But there's also some verbiage on page 4 that was added to specify our work with LISC and Three Rivers, taking care of the heirs properties and getting clear titles so that folks can get assistance when they need it. So that verbiage was added. And on page 6, we labeled out more clearly, instead of just a generic, we're gonna do, energy saving green building materials, we kind of listed those out as they are written on the work write-up that the contractors use to bid the projects. So those have been written out. And then we've also updated the year of mobile home that is eligible for assistance. And keeping in mind that this is not for ones that are getting replaced. This is for ones that it's an emergency repair or a rehab. Florida Housing suggests that we don't do anything over 20 or older than 2010. Sarah and I talked about it, and we kind of are on the same page of settling on 2001, because even at that, that's 25 years old. And my fear is you end up going any older than that, then you might as well just replace it anyway, because once you open up a wall or something like that, you're gonna end up. And that all may change also, because Florida Housing is considering, changing the rules on how much money can be spent on mobile and manufactured homes, so. But for now, this is what we have. Any questions on that part?
I question it being 2001, 25-year-old manufactured housing or mobile home. If there's a 25-year-old manufactured house around that doesn't need rehab, I'd be shocked.
Well,
They don't last forever, and
And
you
most-
can't move them.
Yeah.
So
Right.
In most of the situations, they would qualify for new construction in those scenarios. So
And
there'd
that's-
be very, very few that you.
That's what I was getting ready to say. When we get back into the individual strategies, you'll see when it comes to a rehab, there is a price point where we go, this is gonna cost too much to repair, so we're just gonna get rid of it and get you a new one.
Right.
Okay.
There
It'd
is a
have to meet the-
mathematical formula for
It'd
that.
have to meet those parameters to qualify for.
Because
rehab
every
and do that.
project gets a walkthrough inspection. So someone may come in and say, hey, I just need rehab. And we go out there and we do a walkthrough inspection, and, there's holes in every floor, the ceiling's falling in, the plumbing doesn't work. And so now you're starting to look at, okay, what's the cost gonna be to do all of that? Are we gonna hit that threshold? And it turns out, yeah, you're getting a new one. It's beyond the cost to repair it. So this really does apply strictly to those rehab ones.
any other comments from the board?
That age, yeah.
Then on page 7, we had to include some new verbiage because we did have an issue arise. So if you will look at number 6, the passage highlighted in yellow, that is the verbiage that is being added. Excuse me, I apologize. Number 7. That verbiage is being added because we actually did have a situation where that happened, so we had to adjust accordingly. Then comes the fun part. Florida Housing has instituted some new rules that they refer to as HOTMA. Last year, we had issues where I had to come before you all and ask you to waive the maximum asset amount because we had some folks exceeding the maximum asset allowed. HOTMA changed those rules, and now the threshold is $50,000, and that gets adjusted every year now. And they have also made a distinctive list of what is considered necessary and non-necessary personal property. The part of the issues we had were like with retirement accounts, like an IRA, for instance. Any kind of retirement account no longer counts. We don't look at it anymore. So all of those issues we had no longer apply. So those will be going away. So try not to for lack of a better term, freak out when you see the asset limit at 50,000 now in the strategy, because that is their rules now. So, but you will see the very first strategy on page 8 is for demolition, new construction, replacement. Literally, other than the asset and the potential maximum award limit that y'all did just agree to, those are the only 2 changes in that strategy. And the same thing under rehab has no, I did not think that we needed to change the maximum award under rehab. I will leave that to you all, but as of this time, I did not. Rehabilitation would be a maximum award of $45,000 for extremely low income, $40,000 for very low income, and $35,000 for low income. If y'all are fine leaving that the way it is, I'm fine with that. And again, just the asset limit got changed. Emergency repairs, I did not see the need to increase the maximum award. That is currently at $10,000. If y'all are fine with that, I'm fine with it staying. And again, the asset limit changed, and that was it. And then disaster mitigation, no changes at all. We just have to be under a state or national declared disaster by either the governor or the president for our area in order to enact that. But other than that, no changes.
I think your maximum award on emergency should change.
On emergency,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
wanted to hear that.
But, that's not gonna cover 90% of the roofs that's put on houses anymore.
okay,
And that's usually, I'd say 80% of the time we do a award is for somebody that's bad shape and needs a roof.
okay,
So we need to increase that to 15 or 20,000, whatever this board feels. And 15 would probably be fair.
I would ask the expert on that.
Most people in these situations are in smaller homes. They're not in the big fancy homes. So 15 would be probably
you think you're good with 15?
15. And then the
Everybody-
problem is you have an emergency and they have a roof that's destroyed and an air condition. You can't do both. And we've been caught in that situation before where they're sitting in the, what you gonna do? You're gonna put a roof on their house, but then their air conditioning ain't working either, so they're at 100 degrees inside and pouring roof. So it kind of limits it with the $10,000, because an air conditioner now is $8,000.
And it seems like the cost of wells, since we've been doing this, have skyrocketed.
Yep.
Especially in
And
some
septic
houses.
tanks.
Just out
They're
of control.
crazy.
It really is.
A
So you
threshold
wanna do
doesn't
15 or
mean you're
20?
gonna have to utilize $20,000.
Right, absolutely.
When you get your bids in, you're still gonna do it for the amount of the bid, but the problem is it changes them from having to come to us and say, okay, we got a roof for $15,000, we need to move it up from 10 to 15 to do the emergency repair. It just cuts a step out. When we know, without a doubt, there's not many roofs in Baker County you can do that for $10,000. I mean, it's just not on a house.
There's also the provision of, as long as there is an active deferred payment loan agreement, with the exception of disaster mitigation, you cannot have more than one active and/or have assistance more than once. So my suggestion, if you're fine with that, is like using the example that you said, you know, a roof and an AC. If we bump it to 20,
It covers all
that
of them.
covers both of those, correct?
Which would be my recommendation,
Okay,
because we're covering both and the major issues. That's, to me, that's the two major issues in a house in Florida, the
Okay.
roof and air conditioning.
okay,
Because when you have a senior citizen or ADA or someone handicapped stuck in a house that don't have air conditioning, it's unbearable. So to me, that is two major things, and then a well, also not having water. So if you could do a well and a roof, or an air conditioner and a roof in a emergency situation, I think would be ideal.
You ready to make a motion?
Well, it's part of the whole thing, but I think that we should bump it up, and it would be a board decision whether we move it up or not.
Yeah, I'm good, move it up.
Me too.
Do you want to do the emergency and the disaster, or just the emergency?
I think just the emergency repair, because we more deal with that than we do the disaster.
Okay.
To $20,000, Commissioner?
I think it is, because it would cover an AC and a roof on in most of the houses, which to me is detrimental to somebody's health.
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, any other comments, questions, suggestions?
What's the pleasure of the board?
Make a motion that we approve the LHAP with the modifications.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the ship certification document as stated with the modifications. All in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed, like sign. Thank you, Ms. Lydia.
Thank y'all very much.
You done a great job.
Before you walk away, the resolution actually certifying the program, do we need to make a motion on that separately?
Oh,
or
that's right,
approve
because
that?
y'all gotta read that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's not in your LHUB, that's certifying all of these changes in the program itself, right?
Correct, well, there's a certification document
Right.
and a, resolution. So the certification is the next to the last two pages, and the resolution is the very last page, which is, resolution 2026-02.
Yes. And-
Motion to read resolution 2026-02 by title.
Ready? A
You
resol-
have a second?
Oh,
We don't
I'm
have
sorry,
a
I thought I
second.
heard,
Second.
We have
thought
a
I heard
motion and a
something.
second, please.
I'm trying to find it.
a resolution of the County Commission of Baker County, Florida, approving the Local Housing Assistance Plan as required by the State Housing Initiatives Partnership Program Act, subsections 420.907, 420.9079, Florida statutes, and Rule Chapter 67 through 37, Florida Administrative Code, authorizing and directing the chairman to execute any necessary documents and certifications needed by the state, authorizing the submission of the local housing assistance plan for review and approval by the Florida Housing Finance Corporation, and providing an effective date.
We have a motion and a second to approve 2026-02. All in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed, like sign. Resolution carries. Thank you.
Well done, Lydia.
I say you better catch her before she runs.
Miss LaDonna Combs is up next
All right.
with another proclamation.
Yes, so I got a couple of things for you guys this evening. The first thing for you is a proclamation recognizing March the 9th through the 15th as Flood Awareness Week, which I know seems very ironic considering
We're in
our
drought.
current water supply
I've been praying
issue.
for that flood.
Yes, but FEMA puts out this week each year, and it's generally this time in March. So of course, whenever we're able, we like to participate with that statewide initiative, and so we'll put out during that week. We'll have some flyers and stuff that can be picked up in the office, and we'll put out those same things on social media and just kind of bring awareness. So my recommendation would be to approve the proclamation as submitted, but that of course is up to you guys.
Mr. Chairman, I think it's great. I mean, we've been praying for rain.
I know,
So we need to be prepared for the
maybe
flood,
this
so.
is gonna solidify it, and maybe we can get some,
Right.
maybe it'll
We
bring on
definitely
some.
don't want the floods, but we need the rain.
We
you know,
do,
so
we absolutely
we
do.
definitely need to be prepared for it. I mean, it's like praying for rain and not bringing an umbrella. You know,
Right.
so we're having faith that we're going to get some, and pretty soon.
And two, this kind of helps, we all think about flooding in the middle of hurricane season, but it's
Right.
too late to start working on it then. So maybe, now while it's a little dry, bring some awareness to it and get people in asking questions and preparing for when it does happen.
Any other comments?
I'm excited to make a motion. We approve the proclamation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the proclamation on Flood Awareness Week. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Ms. LaDonna.
All right, so the next item that I have for you all, so we've been talking for the past several months about our comprehensive plan amendment and all of the different requirements that come with that. So having some public input is one of the requirements for that update. So North Florida Professional Services, after having some conversations with them, their proposal was to have a little public engagement charrette.
We're on the resource
skipped
fair.
one.
We skipped one.
Am
Yeah.
I in the wrong order?
You are,
Oh,
yeah.
my
Sorry.
goodness.
Your resource
look-
fair is number
Really in the
2.
wrong
Thought I
order.
was in the wrong order.
I'm thinking,
ahead of myself.
I was thinking one thing and she's on something else.
So you guys,
Yeah.
no wonder you're all looking at me confused. My goodness. Okay, so let's back up and let's put my papers in order here. So, this item we've been talking for a couple of years now. So this will be the third year that our department has hosted the Building a Better Baker Community Resource Fair. So I'm kind of excited. It seems to be growing a little bit each year. We have some vendors coming out this year that we have not had in the past. We're going to have a decent sized touch-a-truck area for the kids this year, with not just emergency vehicles like we've had in the past, but it looks like maybe some heavy equipment as well, and more family friendly than it has been. Not that it hasn't been family friendly in the past, but we hope to have more things for the kids to do. So we, a church has donated their popcorn and snow cone machine. So when they come in, we're gonna have popcorn and snow cones to give out. We've had several local businesses donate some really neat items for us to raffle off. So admission is free for all of the family members to come in. They'll get a raffle ticket when they come in. It'll go into the raffle. They can make their way through the fairgrounds. Right now we have either 48 or 49 vendors that'll be there and participating so far. So they can make their way through, and at the end of the day, we'll do those raffle items. The Bloodmobile will be there, and then that touch-a-truck area as well. The T. John's Barbecue Food truck
I
will
hate
be
to
there.
interrupt you, but
Yes,
what did you say? Touch of what?
touch a truck. So that is, it's an interactive area for the kids. Kids can walk through, they can climb up in the vehicles, they can see how the equipment works, they can see how lights and sirens work. It's just a little interactive area
Now, I
for the
got you.
kids.
You kept saying that word, I'm like, I touch my truck every day. So I
That's
just don't
true.
understand.
That's true, but how often do little ones get to do that? So, we're,
Well, you said sirens and stuff like that. It's not just a normal truck.
it's not.
Yes.
So it'll be emergency vehicles and
That makes more sense.
different types of equipment and
Because most kids in this community, one of their parents has a truck.
That's true. That's true. Not trucks in the traditional sense.
Thank you very
Yes.
much for clarification.
I apologize. I guess I should have clarified that.
For old people, you gotta clear.
Right. I'm sure most parents,
talking about me.
most parents of 5-year-old boys know what that means. So
Okay,
yeah,
I have no
yeah.
idea.
So the food trucks that have committed are the T. John's Barbecue food truck and the Shrimp Happens. So one of the requirements to participate, you have to already be providing a resource to our county. You have to be in our county on a regular basis. So when we started reaching out to food trucks, we wanted to reach out to food trucks who are already in our community and are already providing that service. And that's, you think, 48, 49 vendors, that's a lot of resources already here being provided that
Yeah.
Yeah.
people may have no idea. So anyways, it's on here tonight just kind of for informational purposes, to make sure you guys realize it's happening this Saturday at the fairgrounds. And we would love to have you guys walk through and, visit with everybody. And if you guys want to sit down and chat with people as they come through, I'm sure that would be welcomed as well.
I would love to be there, but we'll be on a cruise.
Well,
So
I hope to be there. It was a great event last year. I was able to spend some time there last year, and I hope to make it by this year.
and I will say, last year, I feel like we still had a good turnout last year, but we did have it the same day as opening day of Little League.
Yeah.
So we made sure that was not the case
Yeah.
this time. So we made sure to avoid Easter, spring break, and opening day, because those little ones, they might want to see those lights and sirens, but they want to
pay that ball.
play ball more than they want to see that. So, and parents have paid good money for them to play that. So we don't want to take that away from them. So anyways, like I said, just informational purposes, make sure I know you guys have seen stuff around, but just making sure you understand that it's this Saturday, and we'd love to have you guys.
It's a great community event. It's well put together, so look forward to seeing.
Yeah, we're growing it a little bit each year, one step at a time.
And on to number 6.
Okay, so now we'll get back to the public engagement charrette. So like I said a few moments ago, we've been talking about the comprehensive plan update for a couple of months now. We are to the part in the process that we want some public engagement. That way, through this process, we want to be completely transparent with the public, and we want them to have a platform to address their concerns, to make sure that their voice is heard. And sometimes the public comment section of the commissioners meeting, that's intimidating to some people. They may not feel comfortable being completely honest and transparent in this type of setting. So it gives people a chance to ask questions that they may not be comfortable asking in public, or to voice concerns that they may not be comfortable standing here and voicing. At the same time, during this sort of public engagement, it is steered towards business at hand. So it is not open to just any sort of public speaking, about the board, or I won't say that it doesn't allow for complaints, but it is a more structured environment for that, where if there's a legitimate concern or complaint or request, it can be documented on paper so that we can read that and make sure that it is on track with the project that we're working on now. There are, of course, some elements of public concern that may not be relevant to a comprehensive plan update. So we make sure that things stay in line with that specific update and what we're trying to do. So after having a public engagement workshop, all of that would be put together by myself and North Florida Professional Services, and then presented to you in a public meeting. So you would be presented those public comments through staff in North Florida Professional Services, instead of those each individual comment from each individual person coming to you. So if 10 people have the same public comment, we're bringing that to you in one comment instead of 10. Generally, in this sort of public workshop, normally commissioners and LPA board members are not present. The reason for that is so that in no way can it appear that we are violating any sort of sunshine standards or sunshine law by you guys being together and having any sort of conversation that would not be public. And then two, that also takes out any there's no way that it could be construed that any of you guys or any LPA board members gave any direction to a property owner outside of a public meeting. There couldn't be any, a property owner saying, well, my commissioner told me this. It takes out any argument of that. So that's generally how those meetings are set up. So that is scheduled for next Monday. It's scheduled from 4 to 7, so that gives people a little bit of time. If people need to come, before they get off work, after work, if they work evenings, if they get off at 5 or 6, it allows for plenty of time for them to stop in. And there will be kind of different stations set up with different topics and different places for them to voice those concerns or comments. And that will be at the Ag Center is where we'll be having it. So this one, just like the resource fair, is really just for informational purposes for you guys, so that you know what's happening and that you also know to expect probably in an April meeting for you guys to get that feedback and information. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns.
Any comments from the board? Thank you, Ms. Combs.
All right, that's all I have for you.
Moving on to number 7, Resolution 2026-4 funding.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Presented before you tonight are 3 almost identical funding agreements for railroad improvements here in the county. We will talk about them each one individually. The first one is Resolution 2026-04. This is for improvements to the rail crossing at County Road 127. All of these improvements to these crossings are the same. They are identical upgrades, which, if you are a technical person, you might understand what these are, but I had to Google some of these terms. But which is new lighting, new gates and brackets, batteries and chargers, a train detection system, bungalow wrap, signs with fun, ENS signs, and breakaway posts. So just to make sure that we're all clear, because these are taking place in the county. DOT does have to get our acknowledgement and agreement to do this. However, this is a fully funded DOT project, meaning that they fund it, they bid it, and they award it. So you guys are just acknowledging that these projects are taking place. So that this is a fully vetted DOT project. So there's any any plans for anything different, we're not aware of those, but these do look like they just bring them up to today's standards for those railroad crossings. Staff reviewed this. Mr. Chris Lee have reviewed it, didn't have any issues. Jason Dial, our Assistant Public Works Director, is also here if there's any comments, but again, we've reviewed it. We see no issues with this. It's a standard agreement that we do every few years for the rail crossings here in Baker County. If there's no further questions, I'll
For sure.
guys ask.
So there's no money coming in and out
Correct.
of this?
Correct.
This is just solely allowing them to come do it?
Correct.
Okay.
Commissioner Anderson?
No, I don't have any. I was just trying, Mr. Mobby wanted to ask a question.
Okay.
Yep.
Motion read resolution 2026-04 by title.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please, Ms. Sarah.
A resolution of the Board of County Commissioners of Baker County, Florida, authorizing the execution of funding agreement with Florida Department of Transportation, financial project number 458-095-75701.
We have a motion and a second to approve Resolution 2026-04, funding agreement. All in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed, like sign. And we move on to 2026-05.
Motion to read resolution 2026-05 by title.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Ms. Sarah?
Resolution 2026-05, a resolution of the Board of County Commissioners of Baker County, Florida, authorizing the execution of funding agreement with Florida Department of Transportation, financial project number 458-095-55701.
We have a motion and a second to approve Resolution 2026-05 funding agreement. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed, like sign. And we move on to number 9, Resolution 2026-06.
Make a motion to read by title.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Ms. Sarah?
Resolution 2026-06, a resolution of the Board of County Commissioners of Baker County, Florida, authorizing the execution of funding agreement with Florida Department of Transportation, financial project number 458-095-65701.
We have a motion and a second to approve Resolution 2026-6 funding agreement. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Moving on to number 10, fiscal year 25 and 26 liaison list.
Thank you,
Ms.
Mr.
Sarah?
Chairman. Yes, sir. So we actually discussed the liaison list several months ago, but we did talk as a group about talking about this list again and updating it when the District 4 vacancy was filled. So now that Commissioner Iverson is here, he and I have had a chance to talk about these liaison lists, and I'll allow him the opportunity to speak on that. But that's what we're here for tonight, is to make sure that everyone is okay with their list as we've discussed it already, and if there's any changes that need to be made, then now's the time to bring that up. And Commissioner Iverson, I'm not sure if you wanted to share your comments on your topics.
I am satisfied with with the programs that I'm part of on this list. I do believe, well, first off, is there any other changes that anyone else wants to make? Tyler, anybody?
I think good.
I think we're good.
I think you good with taking on these 4?
Yeah, and just
4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry.
5 of them. So, for example, the North Florida Regional Council, I think it'd be a good opportunity for me, especially with you being present there. I think that would be a good opportunity for me to
I definitely think you need to be there.
okay.
Yep, 4.
And the only one I would have question, and I'm gonna make a question, is the same one I'm on is also the Small County Coalition. You're gonna be okay with traveling and all to Tallahassee? No problem with traveling to Tallahassee?
Maybe like once a month.
It's not like once a month. It's you're real busy during this time of the year.
Okay.
Sometimes not, but the Chris Doolin is over the small county. He will be sending you messages, and then sometimes you get, one day he can send you a message, the next day you need to be in Tallahassee.
Okay.
I mean, sometimes it happens like that. And are you available to be able to, with your schedule, to be able to do that kind of stuff?
I am. Usually, I'm available anytime other than Wednesday evenings is a bad time for me.
Well, that's fine. It's usually never, it's always,
Okay.
I ain't gonna say it never will be, but usually it's not like that.
Sure. So I feel comfortable with that.
Okay. That would be my only question as a new commissioner. But I think you'd be great on all of them.
And none of us are as qualified as Commissioner Bennett was for the North Florida Transportation Planning.
Nobody, it'd be a good thing for you to learn.
But it's-
I've been involved with transportation with Commissioner Bennett, and most times in every meeting I've been to with Commissioner Bennett in a transportation meeting, most everybody in this room sit back and listen. So you'll be
Sounds
good at that.
Well, I'll sit back and listen.
Yeah. There's a lot of good people in those meetings, and you'll learn a lot. You'll learn a lot.
I think it'll be beneficial for me to be part of that with the different subdivisions, different kind of growth that we're going to have here in the county.
It'd be good.
I think that would be beneficial to me.
I do
also.
too.
We need a motion on
And
that?
what's the pleasure of the group?
I make a motion we approve the liaison list as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the liaison list as presented. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Congratulations.
Thank you. We'll see. Thank you.
It's official now.
All right. Rental fees, and we table the Sanderson Center, so we're talking about the Ag Center rental fees.
Yes,
Miss
sir.
Sarah?
Thank
Can we
you.
get an update before we go into
On
the
that-
fees?
Alicia, do you mind giving a brief update? Alicia is here, so she
She's
can
here,
speak.
so I'm gonna,
Yeah, absolutely.
we're gonna take advantage of it while she's here.
That's my team. So we're getting
If that's
very, very
okay.
close
No,
to
that's great.
finishing at the Ag Center. We've got some final purchases we need to make, some landscaping. We're still waiting on the 4-H closet to be installed. But the 2 sets of double doors that would complete the auditorium, those have been installed and they were being painted today. So I'm hoping this week we'll be done with the auditorium finally.
So what time frame are we looking at, do you know?
So our contract is up at the end of June, and so if I have until the end of April to extend the contract. I'm really trying to wrap things up prior to that, so we don't need to do that, and I'm gonna wait until
Okay.
the end of April to make that decision, see where we're at.
Yeah, we need to have this open before graduation starts again.
Oh, yes,
Because
we've
there's a
already
lot
been
of
getting
people wanting to use
calls,
that.
we're putting people on the calendar,
Okay.
we're planning on having it open soon. We've got the custodian position being advertised again
Good.
currently, so hopefully we can find a custodian to begin cleaning for us and we can get it opened back up to the public.
Sounds good. Sorry about
No,
that.
you're
Nope.
good. Thank you, Alicia. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
So like Mr. Chairman said, we are tabling the Sanderson Community Center rates, so we'll wait to have that discussion at the next commission meeting. So currently, if you look at the second page of that attachment, we've got some tables there that talk about what our current rates are. One of the things that we have done in past practice with the Ag Center rentals is included the tax in the rental fee. And because that rate is subject to change annually, we're going to move and take that out and just make the rental fee a base rate plus tax, so that doesn't have to be worried about the contract being changed if those rates change annually. So right now, the top of that table will show you what our current rate is for non-taxable events, which is nonprofits, fundraisers, that type of thing. Their current rate is $100. Private event, again, keep in mind these numbers are not even because of the tax rate that's on those. A private event is $257.50. Commercial rate is $360.50. And then we also require a refundable deposit of $300 and a no-show fee, which means if the renter does not show up to meet staff at the time of check-in or check-out, there's a $25 fee they have to pay. So in conversations with staff and looking at comparable facilities in Northeast Florida, we have come up with some recommendations. So you'll see there's 2 different options. There's the proposed rate and then the proposed rate alternative. The only difference in those is that we're not charging a cleaning fee right now. So right now it's just the rental fee, but like Alicia just referred to, we have an actual employee on the weekends that has to come in and clean the auditorium, especially if you have any kind of back-to-back rentals or things like that. And so by the time they pay their rental fee, and we pay that custodian to come in and do that, sometimes it's you're not really paying the light bill to keep the doors open that day. So there was some discussion on whether or not we wanted to charge that cleaning fee as a separate charge from the rental fee. So the only difference in that is on your proposed rate, you'll see that the fourth line down, there's a $100 cleaning fee that will be charged for every rental on that, including a nonprofit, because it does still have to be cleaned after they're rented. And then on the proposed rates alternative, the next section, the difference is that we didn't break out the cleaning fee separately. We just increased the proposed rental rate slightly. So it's really the pleasure of the board if you like to have that broken out or not. I'll tell you, I did give a little bit more of a break as opposed to breaking the cleaning fee out, because I wanted to make sure that we were still being realistic with the number that we were asking for. We want Baker County citizens to still be able to rent the building and afford to be able to do that. So on the proposed rates, the non-profits would not change. That would be $100 on the proposed rate. A private event would be $350, again going up from $250. A commercial event would be $450, and then you'll see that line item that's been added there, $100 cleaning fee for all events. And then the deposit and the no-show fee would stay the same. On the alternative, a taxable...
Miss Sarah, I
yes.
hate to interrupt you.
No,
Mr.
go ahead.
Chairman, if you don't mind. The no-show fee,
Yes, sir.
explain that to me.
So so we must meet them at the beginning of the rental to give them a fee and walk through all of the requirements to make sure that they know how to clean the building properly and what all the steps they need to take for making sure that they're following the rules basically. And in the end, we do that same thing. The staff meets the person there that rented it, gets the key back and walks through the building to make sure that the checklist has been met. So if a person fails to show up for either one of those, we require them to pay a $25 no-show fee before their refundable deposit is paid back. So that's just making sure that the building is in good condition. So if we
Okay,
get
so
there...
this has nothing to do with if they don't show up for the event?
No, sir, it is not. It is...
That's what I was...
Yes, sir. No, sir. That is only at the end of the night. We have this problem where at the end of the night they've closed up and they went home, and our custodian comes in to check the building out, and well, they're not there, and there's a problem. Well, if there is a problem that can be resolved while we're there, they'll let them do that. They'll say, hey, you guys forgot to do X, Y, Z. If you'll go ahead and do that real quick, we'll finish up. We won't hold any of your deposit, or there won't be a problem later on. So that's just to ensure that they're there when they're supposed to be, but absolutely not. If you schedule the event and then you just don't show up for it, I mean, that's not the intention there.
Do they prepay for the event?
You require both the deposit and the rental to be
So if they
prepaid.
don't show up, you just keep all of it?
Well, we would provide their deposit back.
Yeah, but they would forfeit their rental fee.
The rental fee, you would still get that?
Yes, sir.
We've never had that happen, so.
Yeah.
It could happen. That's why I'm trying to
Anything's
make sure that we're covered.
Yes, sir.
Would that come out of their deposit?
I would think we would keep it because there's certain times of the year when people are vying for those spaces, that space, so.
That's why I'm asking this simple question now, is your deposit fee is $300. Your corporate fee is $450 or $400, whatever we want to make it. Your deposit doesn't even cover if your corporation doesn't show up.
But you would keep their rental fee in that
the rental fee
situation.
would be kept, though.
Yeah, they're required to pay that in advance. So if they pay their $450 rental fee and they don't show up, they forfeit that rental fee. They don't get refunded.
So
back.
they pay that in advance?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm just making sure
Yes, sir.
that the county's covered
Yes, sir.
if
Certainly.
somebody don't show up.
Yes, sir. Any other questions about the proposed rate, or if you want me to break down the alternative real quick, and then we'll take questions?
Please.
So the alternative again is removing that cleaning fee as a separate line item and just increasing the rental rate slightly to cover that cost on a little more closer matching what our actual costs are. So again, a nonprofit would see an increase in this category because we still have the cost to clean the building. So instead of staying at a $100 rate, we're proposing a $150 rate for a nonprofit to rent. Again, that will be for renting and cleaning. A private event would go up to $400, a commercial event $500, and then again the deposit and the no-show fee was not changed. So again, these are rates that we've gotten comparable. Just to give you an idea, the Ag Center in capacity is about half the size of the fairgrounds, and these rates are about 50% of what those rental rates. So in keeping in comparison with Baker County, this is in line. Alicia's staff did a great job at looking at some comparable facilities as well, and we're pretty comfortable that these rates are actually a lot less than some of those that they could be. But again, we want to make sure that this building is not costing the county money, but it is available for people to use at a reasonable cost. And with these rates, I think in comparison, it's certainly, I think the schedule will be booked pretty quickly with these costs. And again, we're here to serve, at the pleasure of the board. If you guys see any of these that you don't like or you have heartburn with, we're here to talk about it.
Well, this is where I'm at.
Okay?
I like to tell you where I'm at. I think that the cleaning fee should be included. There should be no alternate to whether you got to pay the cleaning fee or not, because we have to clean it anyway.
Absolutely.
So there shouldn't be no alternate to pay the cleaning fee. But I do agree that we could include it in at $50 instead of the $100.
Okay.
The only other thing I really had is a private to commercial event. I feel more comfortable with a commercial event. They're there to make money most of the time. I would take that event to $600 instead of $500 and leave the private event, which is usually for weddings, stuff that's not making money, and leave that at the going rate of $400.
Okay.
Because most commercial events that you're having there are there to make money.
Absolutely.
And if they're there to make money, the county should make money also. So that's my personal opinion.
Okay.
But the other rates, I think, and the deposit, I think, is right in line.
Yes, sir.
Any more comments?
Is $50 sufficient to cover the cleaning costs?
I mean, I think if you look in line with the hours that they're in there, I think so on most cases.
Which one are we looking at?
The
Just a
cleaning fee,
$50
$50.
cleaning fee.
Well, because it sounds like we like the alternative.
Okay,
column.
with the cleaning fee included.
And so you've only went up $50 to cover the cleaning.
Yeah.
I think the one thing we probably need to consider is that a lot of nonprofits will come to the board and ask for a fee waiver. And so do we want to have a separate cleaning fee in that case, because it's still costing us money to clean after
I think
their
that we
event?
should, in that case, the cleaning fee, a flat-out cleaning fee should be $50 because you can't absorb all of it.
Right.
But when you're renting the building, you can absorb some of the costs. It's just like selling a car.
Okay.
You're not giving them the car. So I believe that I agree with the cleaning fee on your nonprofits,
Nonprofits.
because
If-
the county should not have to pay to clean a building for a nonprofit.
Right, I understand.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
I think
don't
the
you
$50
should
is in
get
line with
exempt.
what it costs to have the custodian there. Yeah.
Exempt from the cleaning fee shouldn't,
No.
you should not get exempt.
Right,
No
that's
one
the
should
thing
be.
is,
I mean, you're already taking,
we're
you know,
losing money for
Right.
each one of those free
Right.
runs.
so we can't do that.
Yeah. Okay. We can make sure that that's clear.
The exempt
Yeah.
should have to pay the rent, the full rental cleaning fee, and then if they're renting the building, then I could see.
Any other suggestions?
I'm good with that.
Any other comments? What's the desire of the board?
I make a motion that we accept the proposed rates with the modification of commercial event going to 500, cleaning
To 600.
No, 600.
500 to 600,
Oh, okay.
and the cleaning fee be added to the proposed rates for $100 for nonprofits to cover the cleaning expenses of the county.
Okay. Got it.
Do we have a second?
Okay, say that one more. Tell me what you got, because I'm a little lost on that. So we're going with the turn
Do you
that,
want me to recap real fast?
please.
So the bottom section, the proposed rates alternative, with the nonprofit, if they receive a waiver from the board of the rental fee, they're still required to pay the $50 cleaning fee. So the total
$100
is.
cleaning fee, because we can't clean, you said we can't clean it for $50.
She said we
No,
could.
no, $50
We
should
could.
be sufficient. Yes, sir.
If it's $15 an hour for 4 hours.
Yeah.
That's
That was my
$60.
fault. And then plus cleaning supplies.
The only reason I said on the other ones that we could do for $50 is because they're paying for the service.
Gotcha. I gotcha.
With
Okay.
with the nonprofits, they're not paying for the service, so they should have to pay, at least clean the building.
So that would be a $60 cleaning fee technically. If it's $15 an hour, plus then you got your cleaning supplies and things like that on top of it.
For most nonprofits, do we have to go in there and do a lot of cleaning, or is it pretty clean?
It just really depends on the event,
Yeah.
but they do the majority of the initial cleaning before they check out, and so it's just the regular stuff that we have to do.
Yeah.
Because I don't want the county in there cleaning up after a nonprofit, and they get in the building for nothing, and they can't get, all those people that's doing that needs to be documented. And then the next time that they come into this county office and says, oh, we want this again, nonprofit, you bring out your notes and say,
We have a folder.
Yeah. Yeah. And we talk about
that these is not clean, then don't bring them up here for us, this board, to vote them to get.
It's not usually the nonprofits.
I know usually, I've seen, well, I've rented it before nonprofit, and most of the time, we clean everything there, bathroom and everything,
Right.
and then you're gonna charge me $100 more for, no, I don't know.
Yes, sir.
I didn't know if maybe you wanted to just back into it the other way, just saying that only the rental fee can be waived for nonprofits, so that they're still charged, because you have things like the setup fee too. So anything that's an actual cost to the county, it sounds like that's what you think
Yeah.
they should still pay.
Yeah, we can word it that way, that'd be fine.
And Mr. Jimmy, if you're really worried about it, we could still require the deposit, the refundable deposit.
They
For
do.
the
They still have to pay that.
They are
They do.
required.
They do
Okay.
have to pay that.
Perfect.
And so if they do have any damages, they
Right.
still have to meet those
Yeah, they're
requirements
not
as well.
exempt from that neither, Commissioner Harris.
So
You want
$50
amend your
cleaning
motion?
fee or $100?
The motion stays,
75.
to me, the motion stays the same, it's just
Okay.
we can word it however y'all feel like wording it.
Okay.
Okay.
I still want to leave the motion where it was at, because,
There's still the same direction from the board.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so recap what you have, please,
Oh, gosh. Okay.
again. Make sure we got
So-
it straight.
A non-taxable event rental fee of $150,
Right.
right, Commissioner Anderson?
Why is it 150? If
That's
it's
what-
non-exempt.
Well,
If
they
it's-
didn't get exempt.
If
Well-
it's not exempt.
They
from
may not come and
nonprofit.
ask for
Okay.
exemption.
Right, without a waiver.
Exactly.
Right,
Without a
right.
waiver,
Is
it's
150.
150.
Is, okay.
For a
If they-
nonprofit.
For a nonprofit is 150. If they come to the board and they ask for a waiver, we'll reduce that down, but you're saying you still want the $100 cleaning
Well, if
fee.
you say 50 now, that's what I'm good with 50,
Yeah,
but when I
honestly,
heard beginning, it was not $50.
Yeah, I think that it would be. Yeah, plus like I said, you've got their deposit in there. Well, you've got their deposit if they have any damages or they're not meeting the checkout list too. That's part of having that checkout list.
I mean, I hear 4 hours at $15 is $60, my last time I done math.
I mean, are they there
And
for
then
4
the
hours every time?
cleaning supplies on top of that.
Okay.
So you still got cleaning supplies on top of that. So we're looking at close to $100 to clean.
Which is still a great deal for them.
I say leave it at $100.
Okay.
And a matter of fact, I say leave it at $100 across the board for cleaning. I don't see where we're giving them.
Okay.
Let's do
I mean, if
this
you were to
right
do that,
here.
that would change your amendment.
Non-taxable event, 200.
Okay.
Private event, 500. Then that includes your cleaning fee.
Okay.
Commercial event, 600. including your cleaning fee.
Okay.
And then your $300 deposit, 100 if you come to the board and you get exempt, you just paid the $100 cleaning fee because the board
I like the way that reads.
the county should not have to pay for that.
Got it.
And no show
good
fee,
with that.
$50 both ways. If you don't show up early, you don't show up late.
Okay, so $50 each
Encourage
check-in.
people if they want to rent the thing to follow the rules of the event.
Okay, I think I have it now.
And I can tell you, that's cheap.
It really is, honestly, in comparison.
Try to go to anywhere else and get anything as nice as our.
Yeah.
Now, back in the day,
Mhm.
back when I graduated or had my
High school prom.
my high school prom down there, it probably wasn't worth that, but now it is.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. A lot of those facilities that we looked at, that was their hourly rate.
I wonder.
Yeah.
I know what they pay. I know. I've rented bills before, and
Yeah.
you're talking in the thousands. You're not talking in the hundreds.
Yes, sir. Okay. I think we're clear. Is everyone else okay? We're good?
I'm good
Okay.
with
All
that.
right, I think I've got my
Get a
notes.
motion to move to right.
I make a motion that I withdraw my first motion, amend it to say that what I just said a while ago. Everybody got what I just said?
We got it. Yes,
We
sir.
got it.
Let's go with that.
I will second that.
We have a motion
2,
and a
5, and
second
6.
to drop the new rates for the Ag Center. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Before we leave the subject of rental fees, we will talk about the Sanderson Community Center at our next meeting. And Mr. Moore will be here to tell us what progress we've made there and what's left to be done. And we would like to talk about the Taylor Community Center, as currently we don't have rental rates for it. What do we need to do there to make that a usable community building?
I agree.
So just a heads up that I want that added to the Sanderson Community Center discussion next week.
Miss Sarah, if you could get Brian to do a walkthrough on that building.
On the Taylor, can I give input to it?
Yes, you can, but if we can get Brian to do a walkthrough on that building and see if it's rentable and what the issues that we have at that building. Yes, sir. Go ahead, Mr. Ivers.
It was remodeled about, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago. Does that sound about right? And so it's I didn't mean to cut you off because we need to make sure that by code wise.
Yeah.
But as far as the building, it's in very good shape. It's
Yeah.
it's been redone and
Yeah.
it looks nice inside.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I just want to make sure that we're meeting all the ADA and stuff like that, which is the most important.
And I will inform the board too, that is a voting precinct.
Yeah.
So that is really under our supervisor of election with
Yeah, I'm not sure that we own that one. I'll have to look
its
into that.
renting part.
Yeah,
So,
I think so.
plus it's used for a fire station other than the Sanderson is not. So I think we gotta look at that too, if it really needs to be rented.
Yeah, there'll be some staff stuff we need to look into that.
We'll check into it.
Because the bathrooms definitely aren't ADA compliant.
And that's why when you go into renting stuff and
Yep.
you're not ADA compatible, it creates
It
a
might
lot
not
of
be
issues.
possible. That's right.
So,
There's a whole new slew of lawsuits like the past 30 days that are being filed all over the state.
so that's why I'm asking the questions.
Moving on to number 12. Ms. Sarah?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So presented before you all tonight is a draft scope for an RFP, request for proposals, for a comprehensive financial audit. So this is something that we have talked about the last two meetings for sure, about how we can have a more robust annual audit. And this is the determination that we have come up with. So we've talked a lot about different types of audits over the last few months and what types of information we want and all of those things, those conversations that we've had. And so I have done a lot of research on other counties and what we could combine into one scope for all of these different functions that we talk about. So we've talked about our annual audit that the state requires, right? And then we've talked about an organizational or operational audit from the Auditor General's office. And then we've talked about a more in-depth financial review, right, of accounts to make sure that we're being fully transparent with the public about the operations of the county. And so this comprehensive financial scope incorporates all of those things. So not only would it allow for the annual audit to be conducted, because it is time to seek RFPs for those. We've talked about in this room several times over the last year for sure that James Moore is operating on their last year of the contract with us for our annual audit. So it's time to have these discussions either way. But there's been a conversation among you all about how we can get those services that we've talked about in a more streamlined manner and at an effective cost to the taxpayers of Baker County, right? We don't want to spend money unnecessarily for sure, but we want to make sure that we are accomplishing these things that you all have had directions over the last couple of months. So again, so we've prepared this. I did share this information with the clerk and our finance director as well, and asked for feedback. I haven't heard anything from them on that, but I will make sure that if they do have any concerns that gets expressed. But again, it's for discussion tonight. If you have any recommended changes or additions or deletions, because like I said, we do need to start putting that final RFP document together and get that solicitation process started. So again, I'll open it for discussion to you all, Mr. Chairman, but really that's what brought us here tonight is to really compile all of those directions from the board, like I said, over the last year into one streamlined, comprehensive audit that will give us that information. That's really it. Actually, I'll wait and just open it up for conversation.
Any comments from the board?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Sarah, what are the expanded, the expanded review? Could you specifically point out the expanded review on this?
Absolutely. Section 4 is an entire section that has not been included. Basically, the first two sections are our standard audit. That's what the state requires. That is what we're currently doing.
Sure.
Section 4 is an enhanced financial review and forensic-oriented procedures. There's quite a few pages in relation to Section 4. Section 5, I apologize. I think I misnumbered because, oh wait, no, I'm sorry. I'm skipping over a page. Section 5 talks about mandatory requirements of the auditor to report back to you all and provide information back to the board. And then, that also requires them to detail their methodology. Let me back up, I'm sorry. That's more detailed on their methodology and their staff. Getting ahead of myself. Section 6 is their requirements to report back to you. That's not something that's identified in our current scope. It has very detailed information about what the board's direction is and how frequently we want to hear from the board and under what circumstances. There's also an evaluation criteria that's been added because obviously the enhanced scope is not part of our current auditing procedures. And then I think that should be it. The other ones are just our options to be able to expand beyond that if we choose to do so. If we see anything else that you guys want to add to the audit, we've got the ability to add deliverables. And then again, Section 10 is just on the deliverables on how they'll report that back to you all.
Okay. One of the things I want to point out, I want to read the internal control and governance review. The firm shall evaluate and the design and operating effectiveness of key internal controls with enhanced emphasis on segregation of duties, supervisory review, system access controls, and monitoring activities. The firm shall assess the risk of management override of controls and evaluate the adequacy of compensating controls where segregation of duties is limited. Controlled gaps, emerging risk, or weaknesses that do not rise to the level of formal audit findings shall be documented and communicated as advisory observations to the Board of County Commissioners. Wanted to point that out. Section 5, responses shall include specific examples of enhanced audit or forensic oriented procedures performed for comparable governmental clients within the past 5 years. Looking at that one, I would expect, I mean, they're gonna be graded, correct?
Absolutely.
Whenever all the RFPs come in?
Correct.
So that should be one of their grading points. I just wanted to point that one out.
Yes, sir.
Going on to section 6, I'm kind of jumping around, just kind of hitting some key points in this RFP. And I'm going to pretty much read a good majority of it. The selected auditing firm shall understand and acknowledge that it is engaged by and reports to the Baker County Board of County Commissioners. While the firm will work cooperatively with all constitutional offices and finance staff during the course of the engagement, the auditor's primary responsibility is to the Baker County Board of Commissioners. The auditing firm shall communicate significant issues, concerns, irregularities, or elevated risk identified during the engagement in a timely and professional manner. Such communications shall be made promptly to county administration and, when appropriate or necessary, directly to the Baker County Board of Commissioners. The county expects open, candid, and proactive communication throughout the engagement to ensure that material issues are identified, evaluated, and addressed without undue delay. I want to kind of skip down. The next one I wanted to point out, the firm shall clearly distinguish between formal audit findings, management letter comments, and advisory observations. So this is going into the expanded version of the RFP.
Right.
Especially with the advisory observations. Some of the things we looked at last time last week we were talking about JLAC coming in. This right here kind of goes along that same path and looking at, hey, whoever comes in and if you see something, say something.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you see a problem, please help us identify the problem so that we can be proactive in trying to solve the issue.
Absolutely.
Let me see. Number 10. Go and jump to number 10 real quick. The firm shall provide all statutorily required audit reports and opinions. The firm shall provide a management letter addressing internal control matters and compliance issues. The firm shall provide an enhanced financial review memorandum to the Baker County Board of Commissioners. The firm shall provide an oral presentation to the Baker County Commissioners annually. One of the things that I had an issue with on this past one, and I should have brought it to the attention then, but one of the things that was left out, and the clerk helped identify it in our meeting, was the funding of solid waste out of the general funds for the past 10 years. Was not even a finding this year on our audit report. It should have been a finding on our audit report.
Right.
We don't get to pick and choose what is on and what is out of the audit findings. That we need to make that very clear that if it's a finding, it's a
Right.
finding.
That's right.
And so, I mean, if that's how we've done it for 10 years, it don't matter. It needs to be brought to light, and that's what we need to address. So with that, I mean, I'm in full support of definitely sending this out. I think it needs to be sent out sooner rather than later,
I agree.
so that we get a reputable audit firm kind of on the books for next year. I know we're still contracted with James Moore at this point. We,
Which
you
was
know,
the
we're
board's decision on that.
working forward right now to get this audit completed, the one that's current, the 24-25 audit.
Correct.
But this one, we need to go ahead and get them on the books, because as of September of this year, it will be contracted with whoever we get.
Yes.
So, need to go ahead and push forward on this one.
Is that a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the RFP scope as presented.
I would just ask, you may want to amend the part of section 2 that says that'll be conducted according to GAAS. Most of my clients are using GASB, the GASB.
You're right. I'm sorry. I meant to
Yeah.
update
Just because
that.
that board actually has 2 different requirements.
That's right.
that are required for us.
Sure.
Yeah.
Can you amend your motion?
Yes, I can make the motion to approve with the amending of GASB instead of GAAS.
Yep. You're right.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the RFP for the scope
This
of the
is
audit.
scope, yeah.
All in favor signify by saying
I have
aye.
a question first. I want to discuss something. Has the finance director, the new one, looked over this?
It's been provided to her, yes, sir.
Yeah. Was there any comment?
No, sir.
When was it provided to her?
Probably about a month ago. I don't know if you could pull that email up or not. When I
It's
sent
been
the original-
significant amount of time for her
Yes,
to
sir.
respond?
Yes, sir, it has been.
I just wanted to make sure there wasn't something she wanted to add that maybe
Yeah.
she knows might have come up in that audit since she's been working with the two auditing firms. There might be something
I've asked that
that
question
might
several
need to
times,
be
too.
added that she might know.
We submitted it to them.
So,
That was before all that.
well, she's a very busy lady too by herself still.
Yep, she's got a lot going on.
I
I agree.
understand.
I'm not saying that she, I'm just saying,
They had enough time to write a letter.
Almost a month.
It was provided on February 5th.
Miss Sarah, we have a motion and a second. Would you mind doing a roll call vote?
Yes, sir, absolutely. Commissioner Hartley,
yes.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Mobley,
Yes.
Commissioner Iverson,
Yes.
Chairman Mann.
Yes. Motion carries unanimously. Moving on to prior business, pending business report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sorry, get situated down here. All right, so starting at the top, please stop me if I move too quickly. COA bus wash, again, this is still just in a holding pattern until we actually get that payment from the state. We know that they're operating very slowly, and this one's just taken longer than we expected. So we'll do some follow-ups this week to see if there's any issues. But again, we've not been contacted by anyone from the state once our submittal package was turned in. Moving on down the list, St. Mary's Cove Boat Ramp Phase 1. There's actually a little bit of updates. If you guys like, we'll wait until we get into the FEMA spreadsheet on the next item to kind of talk about some of those. So moving on down into Phase 2, that program has been accepted by the state. We actually got all of our closeout documentation returned from them today. So we are just waiting on reimbursement at this time. Again, that was for the design of the restroom and lighting facility. So once we get to a place where we could submit for some more funding, we would like to be able to do Phase 3, which would be the construction of those facilities. Moving down the list, no updates on Shoals Park. Well, so we have both side attendants there. Things are moving pretty well there. We're working on some more signage and different things throughout the park to improve the safety, but overall that project is really with no updates tonight. The COA Senior Life Enrichment Center, Commissioner Anderson, I'm not sure if you guys were able to meet before you went
We
out of
haven't
town.
met yet, so
Okay, all right.
I should meet with them either, probably gonna be next week before we meet.
Yes, sir. Okay. We'll wait for that update after that meeting then.
Okay.
Kyler Fire Station, again, this is still just a pending item until at some point in the future we staff it and purchase a mobile home to be on site for the living quarters. Next item is the NAB Sports Complex appropriation project. So this one actually is, we actually met one day this week to talk about, yesterday actually, to talk about construction. So we are planning for June to start construction towards the end of June on this next step of the renovation. Sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied tonight. So thankfully we were able to sort through the ARPA account, and our finance director has gotten that cleaned up. So she and I are going to go over a new budget to present that to you guys on the remaining funds. But just for full transparency, it was exactly what we all thought internally was the full project for the Sanderson Fire Station, and the full project of the NAB Sports Complex was charged to the ARPA account and not just the match money. So she has made that correction on the Sanderson Fire Station because we've received that money back from the state. So that money has been added back into the ARPA account. So we've actually got a little over $700,000 in the ARPA fund right now. And then once we receive the reimbursement on the NAB Sports Complex, that's been submitted, that money will go back in there as well. So again, that project's been cleaned up and we're back on track for construction this summer.
Can you help me understand why that wasn't reported in the audit?
No, sir, I'm sorry. I don't have a good answer to that. I wouldn't want to answer that or misspeak. That would be a question for the clerk or the current finance director to maybe help clarify that.
Question on that.
Yes, sir.
Before we go into the next project phase, can we get an update to the board on what that phase is looking like?
Absolutely. They
Right.
want to come and present that to you all.
That's what
Yes,
I-
sir. So we've got a set of construction plans that they want to bring to be able to show the public as well what the
Okay.
plans are.
I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page.
Absolutely, but just a quick summarize, so the existing concession stand and two-story block building that's kind of in the center
Yeah,
of the NAB
that
complex.
thing needs to come down.
Both of those are gonna be torn down and a new restroom concession stand facility all in one is
Right.
gonna be constructed. And there are plans, to make some renovations to both the major and minor league fields, as well as some, repairs to the lighting on the quad that we built. And then we're working on a potential to be able to do some work for the last remaining field would be the senior league age field. And so we're working on some ways, on some costs right now, maybe being able to bring that into the project as well. So hopefully, as long as their schedules are permitting, I know Brian wanted to work a little closer on the number figure, but maybe at the next commission meeting, he'll be ready to talk about
Yeah,
that.
that's
But
fine.
absolutely, we'll have that before you guys to discuss it.
Yeah, we met yesterday, went over a bunch of it, so they're gonna finalize and fine tune the numbers. And then, also, let's talk about lighting real quick. We are gonna price getting new lights on all the fields, just each field individually, and see where it comes in, and, try to work with some of our partners with FPL, see if there's any kind of grant
Yeah.
money or anything there. But, we're getting it all priced, that way we can figure out where we're at first.
Sounds good. That's a good idea.
But even Minger, is it Minger?
Yes.
Minger Fields.
Minger Fields, yes.
Softball fields too.
Yeah, trying to see if we can incorporate all
Them
of that.
lights are
Yes, sir. And also,
terrible on all those fields.
we're getting some prices also for batting cages on the Minger complex as well, because those are actually starting to show their age pretty well.
Yeah.
So we want to try to do some improvements on that one as well. So like I said, once they firm up those numbers a little better, we'll be back to present that to you all.
I do want to put a plug in real quick for First Federal
Yeah.
and True Pie.
Yeah.
They're donating quite a bit of money to the
Yeah.
cause. So
Great.
they're
Great
definitely
news.
going to help, and want to shout out to both of those
Yeah.
for helping the community.
And any other local businesses that would like their
Yeah.
name on something, just give us a call.
We're blessed with community involvement.
Well, that might be a good donation item, like if they want to
Absolutely.
have some sort of recognition, like banner, if they're willing to pick a field that they pay for the light renovations.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yep. So we're excited to see that one come to fruition. We had a little pause, but we're ready to be back on track.
Everything happens for a reason.
Absolutely.
That's what the Bible says.
Absolutely.
You just have to believe.
So next on the list is the courthouse generator project. Again, we are working towards that generator being installed. We actually, thanks to Commissioner Iverson, have had some conversations on trying to move that to a date that does not affect the operations of our county offices. So we're really hopeful to be able to move that to a weekend date, actually. So
I want to hear that. I do not want to hear that.
you don't want to hear
I
that it's
asked
being done
that
on a weekend?
question months ago, and no, there ain't no way that can happen. Now all of a sudden it can happen.
Yes, sir. We haven't gotten the go ahead on it yet, but yes, sir. He's
Good job, brother.
yes, sir. He's helping
Made
us out with
sense
that.
to me.
Yeah.
It does to me too, but I got to shut down quick. God, I
Yeah,
got to shut down
yeah.
quick.
Yeah. We got friends in high places apparently now. Yeah.
Well, when you deal with that all the time, you
Absolutely.
That
Yeah.
makes a difference.
Yeah, and a big thanks to
Yep,
him for
it
helping out with that.
Absolutely does.
Yeah,
Well, I
so-
feel there'll be a lot less impact on the county, so.
absolutely.
Well, I knew that without a doubt, but I was shut down.
Okay, sorry about that. So we'll announce, like I said, that date as soon as we have that identified. But again, we're working towards a solution that doesn't require any office closures. Sanderson Community Center, we're going to have Mr. Doug Moore here on your next meeting date, which is the 17th, to talk about all the work that he's been helping us with there at the community center. So we'll hold that update until then. And then again, the community development software is in the works. Due to a miscommunication on their end, they stalled for quite some time, but they are working through the conversion now, and so hopefully we'll have an update before
We die.
before we die. Yes.
Hopefully whoever
Yeah.
takes my place when I retire
Yeah.
can get
that done.
Yeah, we are in communication with them about a timeline, so we'll stay on top of that as well. As part of the pending business report, we have added our FEMA projects here tonight. The good news that I'll share with you is that the boat ramp was obligated just a few days ago. Unfortunately, we've had a little hiccup, not just Baker County, but about a business day after we got the announcement that the boat ramp was obligated, FEMA sent notification that all meetings and correspondence has been suspended until further notice. So that is not unique to Baker County. That has been direction from the administration of FEMA. We are working to understand why that happened. Again, that's not anything that's Baker County specific. I don't know how to answer the question as to why, because we don't know why, but we are making our way through contacts and resources to try to understand that. There's no news that we can read of some kind of issue or urgency that's happening there. So we have a meeting every Monday at 1 p.m. to discuss this with our whole group of people. Unfortunately, that meeting did not happen this week. So again, this is something we'll continue to try to get answers on, but unfortunately this time we don't have any.
Have we tried to reach out to our congressional representative? They might be able to get us an answer.
Yes, sir. I don't think we've gotten an answer back yet, but yes.
If it's been obligated, what's stopping moving forward? I mean, we're still moving forward, correct?
Well, they're
Yes, we've not
talking to us
paused.
anymore.
Do I?
They're not talking to us anymore.
Yeah.
But that shouldn't stop us from moving forward, right?
At this point, we've not directed the contractors to stop work. No, we need to get some more information.
But, I mean, the
before we
whole
know that.
thing was they're gonna reimburse us for what we're doing.
Right.
So we should be moving forward still
At this
in that
time,
regards.
yes, sir. If we get to a point where we get information that is more informative than we know now, we'll let you guys know.
Is this a county thing or a state thing or
No, sir. This is FEMA wide.
Sounds like federal.
federal?
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm asking, is it just
No, sir. It is absolutely not Baker County or Florida specific. The
It's
information
just
that we're hearing is
FEMA
that
in general?
FEMA, as an organization, has been told that they are to suspend all meetings and communication until further notice.
So if I jump into just the boat ramp specifically right now,
Yes, sir.
it's been obligated, which means the check's been cut, it's coming to us at some point.
Correct.
So right now, the contractor has been informed to move forward, and what he's working on now is the design and engineering of the new boat ramp.
And
correct?
permitting. Yes, sir.
And
That was
permitting.
all prior. to
Design,
that. Mhm.
engineering, permitting of the new one. That's why we don't see any construction happening at this point. He's
Correct.
working through that
Absolutely.
phase of it,
Yes, sir.
correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, like I said, we'll continue to knock on every door that we can to get more information on that. It's unfortunate, like I said, we don't know more details about what that means for us or to anyone else who's in the process with FEMA. But again, just another hurdle, unfortunately, we've been through for the last 2 years. This is not anything new for us. So we'll continue to try to make progress on that.
I would imagine Congresswoman K-Max probably gotten calls as well. She may have an
Absolutely.
answer for us.
Yeah. That is all for me on the
Yes,
pending
yes.
business report.
Moving on to expenses report over 5,000.
No comments from me unless there's any question.
Any comments from the board? Moving on to American Rescue Plan Phase 1 and 2.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, like we just talked about on the pending business report, thankfully we were able to, a big thanks to Miss Brooklyn for clearing up a lot of those issues. I know that she's had her hands full on the reconciliation side of that, so we want to just, publicly thank her for her efforts on that. It's my intentions to bring back a new document since a lot of these are closed out. We want to bring back a new document that details what's remaining. Keep this as projects that are closed out, but clean up this form a little bit for you. So in the next 2 weeks, at your next commission meeting, you should see the items that are remaining under those funds, and so we can start tracking those again. And so we just got a lot of green on this sheet, so we want to make it a little easier to read.
That'd be great. We still have no public comments, so we'll move on to County manager's comments?
Yes, sir. Actually, I do have something very briefly. I just want to acknowledge 2 staff members that are in the room that have some anniversaries with us this week. So this week we actually are celebrating my assistant, Miss Kayla Riggs, is celebrating her 5-year anniversary with the county. And Miss LaDonna Combs is celebrating her 3-year anniversary with the board, I should say, because she's been a county employee prior to that, but she's been with the Board of Commissioners for 3 years. Both of these ladies do an outstanding, exceptional job. They make my life a whole lot easier. I am very appreciative of both of you, and I just want to publicly acknowledge their years of service tonight. And the last thing that I have is opening day for Little League. Mark your calendars. It's March 21st at 9 a.m. And if you can be there, we're going to nominate you to throw out the opening ball. No, I'm just kidding.
I done that one time before.
Okay.
It wasn't a pretty
Somebody
fun.
rolled over right now. That has already been delegated, I will say.
They usually
When
let
the
a
kid
child
has to
do
be-
that.
Give me a
yeah.
football, I can throw it. Give me a baseball, I'm not so good.
Practice before you go.
Yeah.
That is
Just teasing. But yes, if you guys could mark your calendars for the 21st at 9 a.m. I know that they're
21st.
scheduling for the opening day ceremony to be on the quad
Well, how
this
about
year
that? I'll
since
be in
that's
town.
finished.
good.
They will put you on the internet, just so you know.
Oh, I threw it one time, and I think I should have rolled it.
You can show up with a cooler full of popsicles and hand them out.
There you
There
go.
you go.
Yeah. And that's it for me, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Attorney.
First, I apologize for being late. My meeting prior to this went, let's just say it's not as cordial as here. But also, I hope you all get done in time to celebrate Florida becoming the 27th state. So today is the 181st anniversary of Florida becoming a state.
How about that?
Other than that, I have nothing else. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Mobley?
Yes, I got 2 things. Sarah, where are we at on the towing rates? I know Chris Miracle came up here last week and spoke about that. Did we ever get a chance to look at that this week?
We did. So you may not have had a chance to look at it yet, but I did send you some information from
What time was
FHP. I had a
the
great
ceremony?
conversation with the lieutenant
She
over
didn't
there.
give it, did she?
And so just sent out some food for thought. You guys look at it, let me know what you think. And I did communicate with Chris Miracle on Friday to let him know that we were in that process. So
Good.
my intention is to put together a staff recommendation at the next county commission meeting for us to talk about and review. And if you all are in agreement with that, then we would direct Mr. Commando to prepare the ordinance because it would require an ordinance and 2 public hearings.
Gotcha.
So we should have a summary for you all the next commission meeting though.
That sounds good. I just
Sarah's
wanted,
also done a survey of surrounding areas.
Yes,
you have done this?
we
Okay,
have that.
good.
Actually, Mr. Miracle did that for us and provided that information, but we
That's
have
right.
confirmed that the rates that he's provided were
Okay.
accurate.
I just wanted to make sure we're still doing on that.
Absolutely.
You beat me to it. I had opened the day of Little League on 321.
Okay.
We had a good meeting yesterday talking about phase 2. Hopefully starting in June 1st is when we really want to kick it off. Like I said, wanted to throw out the recommendation there, the recognition, I should say,
Yeah.
of First Federal and TrueFi for definitely helping with that. And also to Brooklyn for cleaning that account up, make sure we got what we got and
Absolutely.
know where we're at. So wanted to give her a shout out as well. That's it.
Commissioner Iverson?
So I wanted to discuss the Taylor Community Center, so we'll discuss that next week. And I was going to offer, if you'd like for me to take care of the COA meeting, I don't mind stepping in for you on that. If you'd like for me to, I was just going to offer that.
You talking about as far as
Meeting out there.
issues and stuff like that?
Yes, sir.
I tell you, I might let you do that because a lot of stuff they're talking about is electrical and AC, which is your specific, but I'll see when the meeting's going to be and I'll get Sarah to contact you.
Okay, that'll be fine.
Because they haven't set it up with me yet, so.
Okay. When you say there, are you talking about the GC or the?
It's gonna be with their, what I've requested is a list from their people before we set up a meeting with the GC. When we have the meeting with the GC, I'm gonna probably let you be there.
Okay.
Because they'll be talking stuff that, in some of your language that I wouldn't know is it, I'm a GC too, but not to the aspect of air conditioning, electrical and stuff like that, which is where we're having the issues.
Okay.
So I will be leaning on your, I'm not, ask Mr. Mobby, it doesn't bother me for me to lean on people with their expertise at all.
Sure. And then other than that, I just want to, I think, and I don't know that I'm the right person, Tyler, but I think that somebody, I feel like after last week or after last meeting, with the way that audit vote went and the decision that was made by the board, I feel like something needs to be said to our public, to our people, acknowledging that we are fully pressing forward with an audit, with answers, with the dedication to be more transparent, more trustworthy, and that it's not us here trying to hide anything. It's not us trying to cover up or try to get away. We want those things also, you know, and I feel like that's important for us. And maybe I'm out of line,
Nope.
but I think the public needs to know that. I am sure that everybody's read the paper, everybody's read Facebook, everybody's got a million phone calls this week, because I'm the new guy in the room, and I took my share of it.
Yep.
And so I feel like we need to communicate to the, you know, to the county, to the public, that we're fully looking for answers just as wholeheartedly as the public is looking for them. We're not here to get away from an audit, or we felt that we could get I'm not going to say a better audit. I'm not educated on. That's why I'm trying to rely on Tyler on the wording of this. I just think that we need to give some comfort to the public, is what I'm trying to say. I feel like that they need to know that we are absolutely still pressing forward with this.
Absolutely. And you guys did that tonight with that comprehensive audit scope that you just approved.
Well, I think it comes a long way just by coming from us verbally
Absolutely.
saying, look, we made the best decision that we thought we could make, and not everyone agrees with us, but we are going to give them the results that they need or that they want. And I can say from the little bit of time that I've been here, the division from this building and the building across the parking lot, I feel like that is something that needs to be addressed delicately. And I know that I'm the new guy here, and there's a lot of history that I don't know about that everybody sitting around me does. And so I will look to you guys for guidance on that, and I look to you for your guidance. But just the meeting with the clerk's office and with the finance office, and then sitting in this building, there is a division there that doesn't need to be in this county. Why we think that we can effectively and efficiently run this county being that divided, I don't agree with it, and maybe I'm out of line. So, but I think that that's something that I hope that this audit clears the air. I hope this audit supports that, repairing that relationship, so that way we can better, more efficiently run this county unified with the people across the parking lot. Because just the simple phrase, that department or the department across the parking lot should bother people. We're Baker County, like we're the governor of Baker County. We should not be working against them. They should not be working against us.
Yep.
And so I understand that the history is there, and that we're not going to wake up tomorrow morning and everything be perfect. But I think it is important that we perform this audit and we use the results of this audit to mend that relationship. That's my personal opinion on how. That's my personal opinion. And that's all I have, Chairman.
Okay. Commissioner Anderson.
I agree 100%, brother. I think you're right on. Every word you said is exact. And I support what you said. And on the audit, there's a lot of things that we have to look at as commissioners. That's on the state audit. And me personally, I've done a lot of investigating myself personally on my time, my efforts, nobody else. And talking with attorneys and talking with colleagues that I have faith in, that I trust in their decision. And I think that every commissioner on this board does the same thing. When we make a decision, it's not a decision that we take lightly. my decision and every decision that I make on this board is what I think is best for Baker County. No, not what I think is best for me, what I think is best for the clerk, the property appraiser, or any man sitting on this board. When I make a decision, it is my honest decision on what I think is best for the county in general. And nobody and everybody is not going to agree with my decision. I learned that 14 years, 15 years ago. People just not going to agree.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own opinion, and I respect their opinion. But when I make a decision, it's my decision. It's my prayers. It's my work. It's my research. It's the people I talk to, the information that I gather to make that decision. If you don't like it, I respect that. If you have your own opinion, I respect that. But no, sir, I didn't read the paper. I didn't read Facebook. You know why? Because a lot of stuff that you see on Facebook and what you see in the paper is not the truth. And many years ago, I learned that if you want the truth, you have to find that within yourself and not what you read on the Facebook. Because a lot of the people on Facebook are not man or woman enough to say it in person to your face, so they're going to just spread junk on Facebook. Papers has to sell papers, so they're going to say whatever they want to say. I'm in this position because I chose to be in this position. I'm in this position because I got elected to be in this position. I got elected here to do what's best for Baker County, not what's best for Jimmy Anderson. And when I make a decision, that's why I make it. It's what I think is best for Baker County. And when I make the decision, I stick to it and I own it. Do I make mistakes? If I told you I didn't, I'd be a liar. Because I don't know any person but one that didn't make any mistake. So with that, I do have a comment. Mr. Porterfield sent me a thing today and said that he was actually retiring after 13 years from the Veterans Council, but I wanted to publicly, here at this board member, thank him for what he's done, not only for the veteran services, but what he's helped this county in many projects he's helped in this county. There's a wheelchair ramp, a lot of stuff happened at the Veterans Memorial Park that would have never happened if it wasn't for his leadership. And I want to honor him today, not only for his leadership in the Veterans Council, but his hard service and his heart that he has for the veterans of Baker County and throughout the world. He can't stand up there hardly most of the time and talk about the veterans without crying, because he has just so much passion for them. And I just want to honor him tonight. He's not here, but I want to honor him publicly for his service in the Veterans Council.
Commissioner Hartley?
Some of mine's already been answered, the Ag Center. Also, I wanted, and I think I talked to you, but I wasn't sure, the grant we got from, I don't know if it was Lowe's or Home Depot. I couldn't remember which is which. But if we could look into that, I know the deadline's pretty quick, but it looks like you could, Council on Aging maybe, or the Recreation, or Scores High, Fire, Rescue. I'm sure there's something we could use. Be nice to do some more upgrades at Council on Aging if we could. I don't know.
Yes, sir, we are looking
Okay.
into what the options are for us.
All right. And that was all I had.
I want to second Commissioner Iverson's comments. This board's passionate about figuring out a way to mend that relationship with the clerk's office for the betterment of the county, not for our betterment. Just because it's a great working relationship, we want that relationship to function for the betterment of the county. We've made headway with that. It hadn't improved as much as I would like it to have already improved, but we're going to continue to work toward fixing that relationship, and the audit that we approved tonight, the RFP, is a step that way. It's not the final answer. We've got a lot of things to do to address the concerns that we've had. To say I'm dissatisfied with the audits and the way the audits were reported in the past would be a dramatic understatement. There are things about audits that should have been pointed out to the board while those audits were ongoing and should have been pointed out in the final reports and were not. So hopefully this RFP will get us where we need to be with the information we need to have to move forward as a board and to reassure the taxpayers of Baker County that their funds are not being squandered somewhere or mishandled or misappropriated. We know where the funds are and we know what happened to get us out of line, and we know what it's going to take to get us back in line. So that's where we are and where we're going forward. There's a lot of community involvement in Baker County. You go to other communities to a football game, and there's 3 Baker Countyans there for every one from another community. Same's true with baseball. Little League Baseball, you go up to the field on the 21st, and you better find you a place to park early, because there's going to be a bunch of people there. Community involvement is not a dying resource like it is in big cities and other places. In Baker County, it means something. So community involvement in our funds and them caring about our finances means something. So that's where we are. This board cares passionately about Baker County, and we're going to continue to work with everything we've got. Every board member sitting up here is going to continue to work to resolve the issues we've had in the past and to make them so we're not reoccurring year after year like we have with the past audits. So we appreciate you being here, and that's my comments for the day. We have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We're adjourned.